Thank you for watching and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to make custom stitch designs like this one in Adobe Illustrator, and then we will finish it off in Photoshop. Let's go and get straight into it. My name is Chris and this is Imagine That Design. Now what you need to do is to open up your Illustrator. I have mine open right now, and you will need, first of all, brushes for your stitches. You can make these from scratch, or you can download pre-made brushes which are made by other people and then sold to you. There is, let me see, there's this website, creatorscouture.com, where you can get a free embroidery brush sampler to use. These brushes are amazing. So if you're into this kind of work, then I highly suggest that you purchase them. But to ensure that everyone can follow the tutorial, I will only be using the free embroidery brush sampler. So you can go ahead and click, and then it will take you to Dropbox and you can download the sampler. I already have it downloaded on my PC, so I won't download it a second time. Now, back in Adobe Illustrator, you need to go over to your brush tool here. If you're not seeing it, you can go to Window and then select Brushes. Once here, you need to select the hamburger menu, go down to Open Brush Library, then Other Library. Then you need to go to wherever you save the brushes. In my case, I saved it in a folder called Brushes, Happy Stitch Sampler, and then I want to import the brushlibrary.ai. So I select it and click Open. So here is the brush library. Let me expand it. She included all these samples for you to use. They're very nice, so it's more than enough to get you to do what you need to do. Now, one thing to note about the brush library is that once you close Adobe Illustrator and you open it back again, you will have to import this library again if you need to use the brushes. However, if you want the brushes to always be available in your library here, you can go ahead and click the hamburger menu and then select Persistent. Then you can just drag this into your panel, and every time you open Illustrator, it will be available to you. Okay, good. So now that we have our brush library, how do these work? So you can use them in two main ways. The first is just to use your brush tool straight up. So I have the brush tool selected here. Then I can select any of the brushes, and then I can simply just draw like that. Select another one and you draw. That's good. Another way for you to use it is by using strokes, and this is the way we will create the custom design. So for strokes, I'm going to use the pen tool first. So let's say I draw a shape like this. What I can now do is select any of the brush styles, and you can see it immediately applies to the stroke. Another option is to use the shape. So I can select the shape, disable the fill, make sure that we only have the stroke available. Then I can just drag it like that, and again just select whichever brush type you want. So it's pretty easy to apply the brush effect to your strokes and to your different path that you make. Let me go ahead and delete all of this. So let me bring in now the image that we want to trace over, which is the what are they called again? The tribes in the nations, sorry, yeah. the four nations in Avatar, The Last Airbender. So go to File, then Place, and then where did I save it? Oh, in Assets, yes. Go to wherever on your computer you save this file. I'll have it available for download, or you can just search for it in Google, and you'll see a bunch of examples. Now, because I'm using this as a template to trace over, you want to ensure that you select template here, then place. Now that we have the template selected, well, the template placed on our artboard, you realize I cannot move it, and right now it's way too small. So if I go over to my layers panel, and then here is the template that I imported, if I unlock it, I will now be able to resize and reposition the template. So let's reposition it to here, and then I can just go back and lock it so it can't be moved again. When you create a template in Adobe Illustrator, it also creates a blank layer for you, and it is on these layers that we will be doing the tracing. So the first one that we're going to be tracing is the symbol for the earth benders. So I will rename my layer to earth, and then I will grab my pen tool by hitting the shortcut P, or you can just click the icon from your toolbar here. Make sure that you have no fill and your stroke is set to black. Your stroke size can be, let's make it 2 points. Let me see. Yeah, 2 points is fine. And now we're going to go ahead and start to trace over this image. Oh, let me make the stroke a bit bigger. Yeah, that's good. The pen tool for a lot of people can be intimidating, but once you understand that it's just, I would say, points on a curve, it becomes pretty easy for you to manipulate. I'll make a separate video showing you this. And let's say that you did your trace like this, right? But then let's say this point here is a little bit too sharp and you need to smoothen it out. You can go ahead and get your smooth tool, select your path, and then just run it over it, and it will smooth it out for you. Just like that. Now highlight everything, Ctrl G to group them, and you can move your trace over. So there's our trace. One thing that you can do to make it a bit better, let's ungroup this for now. You see how the end of this is a bit thinner than the rest of it? You can also do that with your stroke by using the width tool. So select it and then go to the end. Let me zoom in. Go to the end of your stroke, and then you can pull it in a bit like that, maybe not too much. And let me pull this part back out. And you in just a bit. Right, so you can get a little bit closer to what the actual design is. But this is okay for now. You can fine tune it in your own time. So Now that we have the trace available, what do we need to do? We need to go ahead and apply the brush to this. So again, go over to your brush library and then select the brush that you want to apply to the trace. So look at how that looks good. If I want to use another brush, I just need to select it and you will see it change like this. We're gonna use the first one for this exercise. So that's the Earth Nation done. I'm going to go ahead now and trace over the other three. So now that we have all four of our traces done, we're going to need to now get them on their own artboard so that we can export them. Then you can just go to File, Export, Export for Screens, select all of them and export to wherever you want them to be saved at. I normally upscale this to about 4 times or set the given resolution for it and then export so I can get a good quality going into Photoshop. Now that we're in Photoshop, we need to go ahead and import all the 4 symbols that we created just now in Illustrator so that we can use them here. But before that, we need to add a background to this. Now, all stitches are done on fabric, like to put your symbols on a wall, it wouldn't make sense. It has to be on a fabric type of background. You can find these on Google by doing a simple search or on any free stock sites. I downloaded a fabric texture, so let me just go ahead and import it into Photoshop now. So go to File, then go to Place Embedded, then go to wherever you saved your background image and then select it and hit Place. I want to rotate this clockwise by 90 degrees and then just expand it to fill the board. The red is a bit too much, so I'll go ahead and I'll add an adjustment layer for hue and saturation. Clip it to the background and then I can change the hue to something lighter like this and then decrease the saturation like that. Now we are ready to import our symbols. So again, go to File, Place Embedded, go to wherever you saved the export from Illustrator and then place them one by one into your artwork. Here we have our 4 symbols from each nation. Now, each of these nations have their own color. So Earth Kingdom is green or brown. air is blue or white. Well, no, they have orange and yellow as well. Water is blue and fire is just red and orange. So what we need to do here is to change the color of each of these. Before we get to the color part, we want to make these look a bit better, because right now they look pretty much one-dimensional and flat. And if you know embroidery in real life, it kind of it sits on top of the fabric, so it's not flat with the fabric that it is on. It has a little bit of an raised edge, so you need to have that same effect here. Let me go ahead and add it to water first so we can see. What we need to do is add bevel and emboss. So I'll select that, and immediately you can see the difference that it makes. Look, flat, more dimension. Now you can go ahead and adjust to your liking. Do not just copy the numbers that you're seeing here, because this is just me adjusting to what I think is best for this particular artwork. What you need though is to understand why we're doing what we're doing, so that you can do what you need to do in your situation. A lot of times persons just say, set this to 168, set this to 5. No, just know what bevel and emboss is, and then you can apply the settings as you see fit. The drop shadow gives it an additional depth to the embroidery that you would normally see if it is that light is shining on the cloth from a particular angle. Now, with that done, the next thing that we need to do is to address the color. So this is the Water Nation, and their color is blue, aqua blue, I believe. So you can go to color overlay, select the blue that you want for this. About this blue should do, right? And the blend mode you should have as color. If it's normal, you won't see the stitch texture anymore. So change it to color so that it just affects the color of the image and not the texture, and then hit OK. So that's Water Nation done. To add the same effect to the other three, you can simply hold down onto Alt, click the effect and drag it. Hold down onto Alt, click and drag it. See? So it's easy to add those same effects to all the other images. And then from here, all you need to do is to change the color. So double click, color overlay. This is fire, so their color is down here, orange, or a bit more to the reds. Hit OK. Earth is green, that dark muddy green. I can't see them. It's somewhere like this. So that's earth. And then air, where are you, air? Here we go. Air is a lighter type of blue, almost heading towards white. So let's make it a bit bright like that. Yeah. So now you have your water, air, fire, and earth stitches. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that this tutorial has helped you in some way, and you can now go ahead and create your own unique stitch illustrations. You can do it with text as well to make it look really nice. I'll show you an example of a recent logo that I did. So this is one that I did recently. I have one shaded in, it's kind of connected with threads, and you have a bit of stitching going on at the bottom as well. and I also made these cute little flowers just for accent. So it's up to you how you apply these things, but have fun and be creative. Thanks again. Do subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll be sure to make more just like this. Have a good day.